So we've just finished filming the Ocean Alexander 35 Puro, which has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do this video because talking to Scott about the Ocean Alexander range of yachts, I realized there's far more than we could say in one single video with one yacht, because actually there's a good range of models within the Ocean Alexander brand. Is that right?
Of course, absolutely. So we have three actually at the end of the day. We have a Revolution line, we've got the Legend line, and then we have the Puro, which we're sitting on today, the 35 meter.
And then which sizes are they available in?
So in the Revolution, we have a 27 meter, a 30 meter, and then we have our 35 meter. And then in our Legend line, we start with our 28L, and then we have a 32L, and then we have our 37L. And then in the Puro line, which the 35 again we're sitting on today, we're going to introduce a 30 meter in this line and a 40 meter as well. So this will have three within its Puro line as well.
And the remarkable thing to me is that MarineMax as an organization actually buy these yachts, bring them to the United States, where they're then offered to yacht owners. Seems to me to be an incredibly risky business strategy to do that. Why do you do that? Why don't you just get people to go to the shipyard and buy them themselves and take a nice commission off the side?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely two ways to cut this for sure. And MarineMax has always been a stocking dealer. You know, I mean, we're almost a 30-year company now, and at the end of the day, we've always had the mindset of having inventory for our clients. You know, we have 90 stores nationwide. Now we have the extension of you know, going overseas to Europe and throughout with Fraser and Northrop and Johnson. So we want to be able to give all of our brokers worldwide the ability to deliver a boat now.
Right.
Just as when we started out, and we always had inventory in all of our stores, which we continue today. So yes, having inventory in a larger format of something like this is a lot riskier, right? It's costly as well. But we feel like we have the ability to do that and offer that where a lot of dealers don't have that ability. We also have the opportunity to take trades against these boats as well. So if a customer has a competitive brand, for instance, that they're looking to move out of and move into something like an Ocean Alexander, we could take that boat and trade instead of that customer having to go into the open market, sell that boat, and then come to us and buy one of these.
So those are two tremendously important points, aren't they? First of all, you don't have to wait, what would it be, a year and a half?
2 years.
To build 2 years to build one. You got it now.
You can have it now.
And most people want it now, don't they? When they make that decision, they want a yacht, they don't want to wait 2 years for it.
Well, especially today, you know, you're starting to see how many small businesses are selling to private equities out there, and the amount of wealth that's increasing. Well, after all those years of building their businesses, they finally get that big payday, and they want to go do something with that immediately. And so if the yacht is available, then that's what they're going to go do. And so that's what we try to do.
And the second thing that you said there, which is really powerful, is that you're in a position to take trade-in yachts. Not many people can do that.
Nope.
So if somebody comes to you, they've got, I don't know, a 64-foot Sunseeker Predator from 2005, they don't have to sell it before they buy this.
2005 to 2024, we can take all of it in trade, all the way across the board. So, you know, I mean... I
didn't want to put you in a difficult position with such an expensive trade-in, but I mean, seriously, even a...
Yes, without a doubt. Yes, we have a very strong balance sheet, and we have a great floor planning, and we have set that up throughout the years to be able to take trades as much as we floor plan the boats like we're sitting on today.
Because actually, something that viewers may or may not know is that as far as salespeople go, it's a big organization, isn't it? Can you give me an idea of how many brokers, how many salespeople, offices?
So we probably have somewhere in the range of 400 to 500 brokers and salespeople throughout the organization. It's a you know, we have a complete home office over in the Clearwater, Tampa area, and then stores throughout the entire country. And then we have satellite offices for Fraser and Northrop and Johnson throughout the United States, but also throughout Europe.
Yeah.
So it's a major organization when it's all said and done. And then now we own marinas. IYG. We have a whole marina division, which really gives our customers the ability to utilize the marinas that we have around the world as well. So it's really grown from when I started 33 years ago, to something very small and to what we've done today.
Yeah. And sort of coming back to the Ocean Alexander brand, because that's something very much I want to focus on with this particular video. If somebody were to say, I want to go to the factory, I'll do it myself and I'll buy my own boat. First of all, they'd have to wait 2 years. Secondly, they wouldn't be able to get a trade-in. But thirdly, they get a very different boat than the one that you guys at MarineMax put together to bring to the States. Can you give me some indication of the kind of effort that you put into making sure that the yacht, when it arrives in the States, is suitable for the American clients?
So, first, resources are everything. So we align ourselves with the designer, whether that's Evan Marshall on the Revolution and Legend side, or that's Giorgio Cassetta on the Puro side. And we align ourselves as we work with Ocean Alexander and their team and the designer to make sure what we're bringing in the States makes a statement, especially if we're going to inventory it, correct?
Yeah.
And plus we also make them for their global. So everything 30 meter and above that we're bringing in is going to have like an Atlas system, for example. So that customer has the ability to go anywhere in the world or offer it for sale for anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So that's another level of when you start talking 30 meter, not a lot of out there against us competition-wise that's going to offer that kind of services. We do head treatment systems in all of our boats right out of the gate. We'll do, dual water makers with Spot Zero. We really equip these yachts today almost completely turnkey outside of maybe some small additions a captain's going to want to add from a previous yacht they owned or something that's really special to the owner. Items like that. But other than that, once we get these boats in the United States, we survey them, we go through the process, get them ready. It's a pretty short period to get them delivered.
Yeah. And the yachts, of course, are built in Taiwan.
They are.
So it's also a hell of a long way to go.
It is.
Or to send your captains to go to look after quality control. I assume that you guys are flying fairly regularly over there to the shipyard. Is that how it works?
So we do fly over to visit the builds, but we also have representation where Fraser is one of the companies we own, and they have a yacht management division, and it's a super yacht division now. Yeah. And within that division, they'll actually be our eyes and ears through the entire build. So we'll get reports of how the build's going and actually do a survey of the boat before it actually leaves the factory.
I didn't know you were using the Fraser yacht management for that, and that's great because, of course, they have experience in yachts significant sizes, 6-7 times the size of this, and so they're supremely qualified to be able to come to Ocean Alexander, have a look at how things are being put together, and really oversee the construction.
In most yacht yards, actually, there's friction when you bring somebody like that in there. And one of the things I have to say is Ocean Alexander has really opened them up to their business and let them really listen, let them give their input and listen to what they have to say, because like you mentioned, they really have a big background of yachts throughout the world that they've been part of. And I think it will benefit Ocean Alexander to even a more of a level than we're at today.
Yeah, absolutely right. So that's with regard to actually the construction phase. But the other area where there's always friction is warranty.
Yes.
So what's your take on the warranty side for Ocean Alexander in the United States?
So, we first try to do delivery as best we can. We try to make sure when the boat comes to the States, we survey the boat again. And through that process between Ocean Alexander and ourselves, get 99% of any of these items that come up in the survey taken care of before the owner actually uses the boat. And what we're trying to do is stay ahead of it. Instead of these items happening when they're in use with the owners, we're trying to catch these small things that could hinder a trip, could ruin a part of a trip. We're trying to stay ahead of it. So Ocean Alexander partners with us in getting the boat ready for delivery. And at the end of the day, it's a pretty seamless event when it's all said and done. Post that, once they have delivered, myself, along with Ocean Alexander, we work directly with the captains and the owners, but mainly with the captains at that point, and continue their education. but also our phone lines are open for them to help them through whatever they need.
Yeah. So what about spare parts? Do you have to send off to Taiwan every time, or do you have a warehouse here? How do you handle that?
So Ocean Alexander has a warehouse here. Majority of the spare parts are pretty accessible. We do try to use as much USA vendor type parts in the boats when we build them so we can accessibly get to them. Of course, there are parts that are built different parts of the world that may have a delay to them, but majority of the stuff we can get turned around in a pretty quick, fashionable time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
And the final part of the process, I think, is the way that people use the yachts. And something that's always impressed me with MarineMax are the rendezvous. But I know they do their rendezvous for little 30-foot and 35-foot. Do they do anything for Ocean Alexander, the big boats as well?
Absolutely. So we actually partner with Ocean Alexander, and it really becomes an Ocean Alexander rendezvous that OA and their marketing team put on, and they just do an amazing job. Last year we did Ocean Reef. This year we're going to Harbor Island in the Bahamas, and we'll have anywhere from 12 to 15, 18 boats show up, and you'll have 100 people when it's all said and done.
Wow.
And it's an amazing event. What it's nice is it pulls all the owners together.
Yeah.
And then it also puts the captains together a little bit to have conversation, and gives us and the owners of Ocean Alexander a chance to listen to some of their feedback so we can grow the product.
It's so interesting because the difference between the two cultures in the United States and in Europe, the owners don't want to meet each other. They really don't. I don't think a rendezvous would ever work in Europe.
Wow.
But in America, it's such an all-embracing culture here that people love to meet other owners of other yachts.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, we do a yacht hop where each of the boats decorate their boats one of the evenings or afternoons, and they decorate it, and then they have like certain appetizers, and then they do a specialty drink, and the entire group will go from boat to boat.
Yeah.
Throughout it, and then they declare a winner at the end of the night.
Fantastic.
It's just it's a lot of fun.
And I was talking to one of your colleagues, I don't remember who it was, but they're dealing with, I think, galleons and some of the slightly smaller yachts, and they made a very good point that you get people, I don't know, in New York perhaps, who've sold their company, moved to South Florida, buy yachts, and they're like, what are we going to do with it now?
Very true.
So by organizing those events, it gives them something to do, it gives them a reason to use their yacht, a reason to enjoy what they purchased.
And that's the other reason, like us, that we carry Ocean Alexander in stock, is we have a lot of owners that have come from galleons and bigger azimuth yachts and bigger yachts that are like, hey, we want to make the transition into maybe a different brand, or we want to make the transition to something larger. And we have that in place for them, and then be able to take the boat we sold them in trade. But that galleon or that azimuth or that whatever that boat was, those trips they went on really gave them an opportunity to see what the Bahamas offered to them, but not going alone.
Yeah.
And kept them in this sport is what we want to do. And then, they move up from there, and then we help them get their first crew.
Yeah. It's remarkable because, as you know very well, that sometimes owning a yacht can be an absolute headache. And there are owners who it's become a headache, and in my opinion, it's a headache for them because they're not doing things the right way. If they buy from the right people, particularly with the larger yachts, if they have it managed by the right management company, you're supposed to have fun on a yacht. It's not supposed to be a headache.
No, you're supposed to have fun. And what you don't want to ever do is make them feel like they're on an island by themselves. And that's our job after the sale is, we're involved with helping them get their first captain and get their first mate and stew and chef, depending on how many crew the boat need.
Yeah.
And we want that to be a good experience because, if that doesn't work, that could make or break this entire operation. And so we're very closely involved with the owners when they get started with that. And then are continuing our relationship with that captain through that process. We're available to them.
Yeah.
And because we want that experience to be like you just said.
And actually the day's been interesting as well, because I noticed as we left the marina, we were saying hi to an Ocean Alexander captain. Yes. Then we pulled out of the dock and you're waving to another Ocean Alexander captain.
Absolutely.
Then during the day, you've been taking phone calls from Ocean Alexander owners, potential buyers. I think at one point I heard you giving some feedback perhaps to the shipyard about something as well. So you're really, this is like a big part of your life and what you do. And
I enjoy it, first of all. That's the first thing. And building yachts for clients is a joy for me. Yeah. I really like going through the process, and I like things to be done like they want them done. I want them done right. And so it takes some effort. But at the end of the day, you've got to partner yourself with people that are aligned with your same goals. And Ocean Alexander and the manufacturers that we've aligned ourselves with MarineMax have those same goals that we have.
That's great. Well, I've really enjoyed filming with you. It's been educational as well. And if people just want to know a little bit more about the brand, about Ocean Alexander, or just about MarineMax, what should they do?
Well, I mean, definitely feel free to give me a call. Again, my name is Scott Roberton, and easy way to get a hold of me is 727-638-7890. And look forward to answering any of the questions or any education we can do to help you make a good decision for your next yacht.
That's great. Thanks, Scott. I really enjoyed that.
Appreciate it.